Way down to, and we talked about um, ectopic calcification, and we also talked about when she broke her arm and she had atrophy and contracture. I'm talking about. So now we're going to talk about synovial joints. Synovial joints, they're all throughout your body. Synovial joint is a joint in the body where two bones join together. Right here, is that a synovial joint? Why? Because two bones join together. The joint must also transmit forces between participating bones. Got it? So anything that bends, like that's where it is. Does it fall? Does it hit those deals? Is it where two bones join together? Does it also transmit forces between participating bones? Yeah. So what's your answer? There you go. All right. The joint types. Oh, yes, you definitely need to know these. It has synarthrotic, amphiarthrotic, and diarthrotic. Synthiarthrotic is immovable. Where might you find an immovable joint? No. Where might? Yes. Your skull. Your skull. It's a great example. All right, you got your sagittal joint, right? Your occipital joint, and once you get to about 20, it fuses together. But your skull is not even close to being fused together when you're born. Amphiarthrotic, semi-movable. Now, who said what about where? Your ribs. I was eating ribs. Ribs. All right. How about your SI joint, your sacroiliac? Ooh, that's a good one. I'm glad you brought that up. SI joint. What about diarthrotic? Freely movable, also known as the synovial articulation. Your knee, your elbow, your shoulder. Yes. Your ankles, yes. Yes, your fingers and your toes and your hips. All right. So when you have those, when the joints are put together, where there are two bones that come together, there is a joint capsule. Now the capsule surrounds the joint. The bony joint is held together by a cuff of fibrous tissue known as a capsule or capsular ligament. I don't know who. So it consists of bundles of collagen and functions primarily to help to maintain and relieve a relative joint position. So try and put two pieces of whatever together, and you're going, oh, I can't make this stay, so you have to get some glue. That's your ligament. Then if you put a Band-Aid around it or whatever, or take something and put around where, let's go with, we're going to try and make two golf tees turn into a joint. So then if I put some ligaments on it, all right, but it's still a little flimsy. But if I take a little bit of tape and put around it, now it's not as flimsy, but it still works. That's a joint capsule, is the tape. It helps hold it together. Keep a relative positioning of both bones that are within that joint. Bundles. Let's see. Your ligaments are bundles of collagen tissue that form a connection between two bones. That has nothing to do with tendons, does it? What do tendons do? Okay. What do ligaments do? Ligaments do what? Connect what? Exactly. It connects bones. It's bone to bone. A ligament will hold a bone to a bone. Tendon holds a muscle to a bone. So they act as primary backups for the joints, and their primary protection comes from muscle and tendon. So the muscle around the joint is your major number one defense against forces. And then if it fails, then the ligaments go. And then we get a sprain. We have a synovial membrane and synovial fluid. Synovial membrane is a lining of the synovial capsule, and it's made of connective tissue with flattened cells and villi. The fluid is secreted and absorbed by the synovial membrane and acts to lubricate the joint. So here's this big factory, the synovial membrane. And the synovial membrane makes WD-40, so the friction can be lessened. This sounds so exciting, doesn't it? All right. We also have to have cartilage within this joint. And that cartilage is connective tissue again, provides a firm and flexible support. More than likely, it doesn't have a blood supply. So that tells you, what does that tell you about it healing? It's slow at best. It might not, it probably won't heal at all. And it also doesn't have a nerve supply. So what does that mean? Huh? It doesn't hurt. Now, that's true. Usually, though, what happens is if you get the cartilage to tear, say like in a knee, the knee says, uh-oh, there's something going on, and it starts producing more fluid, and the swelling then hurts, not the cartilage itself. So there's 3 types of cartilage, and you'll need to know each type. There's hyaline, there's fibrous, and there's elastic. And that next slide tells you exactly which ones they are. The hyaline, part of the nasal septum, the larynx, the trachea, the bronchioles, and the articular ends of bones. All right. You ever felt your trachea? Huh? You ever felt that? Yeah. Mine's this wide. Here. It can go like that. It's just cartilage. Yes. And it just moves around. Huh? Pretty nifty stuff, isn't it? So what's up front? Is it the esophagus or the trachea? Trachea is up front. Because if you push here, can you still swallow? Yeah, but what about breathe? Yeah. So if tracheotomy would be up front here, so they're not going to like push the esophagus out of the way. All right. So there's your trach. That's hyaline cartilage. Fibril cartilage is vertebral disc, the symphysis pubis, and meniscus of the knee. And then there's the elastic cartilage, which is external ear and eustachian tubes. The tubes that go to your from your ear. Yeah, elastic cartilage. Yes, ma'am. This is cartilage too. That one, I believe, will be fibril cartilage. Is it not? This cartilage. This here, up top? Oh, I can't pull it apart and then let it come snap back. Spock, Dr. Spock can. All right, well, we'll look it up and I'll tell you. So, cartilage also helps control the motion of a joint. The articular cartilage determines what motion can occur. So if you've got a ball and socket joint, all right, where it's your hip, the cartilage is round and it fits on the outside. We call it a labrum. If it's a hinge joint, it only moves in one plane. So it builds up on the outside, and it, like in your knee, builds up on the outside, and it's flatter in the middle. So that way it allows it to go forward and back, but not the knee to go from side to side. So it helps control the motion. Obviously, if it's circular, it's a whole lot easier to move it than if it was, as we said, in the meniscus of the knee. So here's your stability. Depends on the shape of the cartilage. The stability will vary. The stability of the joint will vary. So we see the femur right here, and we see it's like 2 big suction cups that hold it down, but it doesn't have suction. All right? One is O and one is C shaped. Okay. It just sits there. It sits on top, sits on the top of the tibia, and your femur fits down within it. Now, It's not showing the ligaments that also help and hold that joint together. Doesn't show the synovial capsule or the joint capsule. So here's your types of synovial joints. They are, and you'll need to know not just what kind they are, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe on your test it's matching. So you got a ball and socket. Holy smokes. If you get ball and socket wrong, you're in trouble. Ball and socket. Shoulder. There you go. Another one would be your, yes, hinge joint. Just like a door. Just going to go one way and back, one way and back. Your knee and your elbow. Pivot. Cervical axis and atlas. All right. Axis, there's your pivot. Your cervical axis and atlas, which is cervical vertebra number 1 and number 2. You only have 7 in your cervical, so that's as many as you got. Your one that sticks out right there on the top of your shoulder blades, that's C7. So it's all the way up here. And that's the one they try to break back in the old West when they'd hang people. You'd try and break C2. Why they had that great big knot, and they'd put it this way, so that way when you drop, it'd go pop. And that's how Dale Earnhardt died. He hit the wall so fast that they didn't have those little deals that they wear now that hold their helmet to their body, and his head just went whoop, and it pulled it off, pulled the brainstem out the bottom of his skull. Yeah, well, you're dead instantly. It's not a bad way to go. You got an ellipsoidal, is in your wrist. You have an elliptical convex head in an ellipse. Your carpal metacarpal joint of the thumb. All right, where is that? Here's your metacarpal. You're going to have to spend a little bit of time as far as reading these. So I step down off the table. We've talked about this before. Your foot will do 2 things. It's going to get bigger. Portion of that type of joint. So know those are not the same thing. And I worked at a place, did I tell you this yesterday, where they would say, sprain/strain of the knee. Which one is not which knee, but which is it? Is it a sprain or is it a strain? Doing a ligament, articular capsule, and synovial membrane, and they occur. So, grade 1. Now, from now on, minimum loss of function. Moderate right there. See that word? So you have pain. My goodness, it's a number. Oh yeah. More stable than what my shoulder is with my knee.